I must tread alone. When on January 16, 1956, the party of missionary volunteers, Quechua Indians, Ecuadorian soldiers, and American airmen who had gone to search for the 5 missing men returned to tell us that they were all dead, there was little sense of drama for me. The history of missions had repeated itself. I could see that, for I had read stories of missionaries from the Benedictine monks who crossed the Alps into Germany and were murdered by savage tribesmen, to 19th century Englishmen who went to the South Sea Islands and were clubbed to death. The crusading spirit, the thrill of reaching an unreached tribe, the passion for souls which is supposed to motivate some, all these faded out completely. I knew that if life was to go on, it must go on meaningfully. I was forced back to the real reasons for missionary work. Indeed, the real reasons for living at all. My husband Jim and the 4 men who had gone into Aucu territory had one reason. They believed it was what God wanted them to do. They took quite literally the words, "The world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever." It is only in obeying God that we may know him. Obedience, if it is a good reason for dying, is just as good a reason for living. I knew that there was no other answer for me. The whys that screamed themselves at me day and night could not be silenced, but I could live with them if I simply went on and did the next thing. Jim and I had been working among the Quechua Indians in a place called Shandia. I returned to Shandia. I did the things that presented themselves to me as duties each day, and in the doing of these I learned to know God a little better. To obey is to know. To know is to be at peace. I had no idea what the future might hold. It seemed impossible that I could continue the entire management of the Quechua station alone, but there was no use concerning myself with the next day. I was confident that, as in the case of the waterfowl, there is a power whose care teaches thy way along the pathless coast, the desert and illimitable air, lone wandering, but not lost. He who, from zone to zone, guides through the boundless sky thy certain flight, in the long way that I must tread alone, will lead my steps aright. There was much maintenance work to oversee on the station, the clearing of weeds on the airstrip, the planting of pineapples and bananas, the constant work to keep the jungle back from the trails and clearings, the mending of fences and thatched roofs, the finishing of a school building which Jim had started, besides the ordinary work of living without many conveniences. I had a baby to care for, medical work to do among the Indians, a girls' school to teach, the translation of Quechua scriptures to do, a Bible class in the boys' school to prepare for, and the shepherding of a group of young Quechua Christians. While I was at Shandia, the men of the Missionary Aviation Fellowship continued the flights begun over the Auca settlement by Nate Saint, who had been killed with my husband and the others. Gifts were dropped to the Aucas regularly, and the signs of friendship which they had given before the killing seemed unchanged. Many people in all parts of the world prayed for the Aucas, that the light of the knowledge of God would somehow be taken to them.